Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're starting a second season of Lost. Hopefully you guys are excited for today's episode. If you'd like to watch the full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in and enjoy. So what a crazy season we had in the first one. It was it's really interesting getting to know all of the characters. We had the backstories of all of them, didn't we? Seeing how they all ended up getting onto the plane, ended up obviously being on the island, and you've seen relationships building, people trying to escape, finding out who the others are. We actually seen them finally arrive at the end of the last season, and they took Walt, didn't they? They blew up the raft that obviously Michael and Jin have been working on with Sawyer as well, and all of them are left in the ocean. Walt has been taken away. We don't know where they're going. Claire's had her baby now. We've seen Boone die as well as part of the main cast. The hatch has finally been opened, but we didn't see what was inside of it. We just seen some big massive long ladder, didn't we, coming all of the way down. So I'm very excited to see what we've got in store for us in this season. I want to see more of the others. I want to see more action, more chaos, more fighting. I want to see relationships building. I feel like this season could potentially be a good one for Shannon. Who knows? She's lost a brother. I feel like this is the time to make her rise, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the point in having her being here on the island, trying to hold on to him, building a relationship with Saeed, so to speak. She got the dog from, Vincent, didn't she, from Walt as well. And I feel like, yeah, she's got a good character, so to speak, like foundation, and I reckon we could push her forward. I want to see the relationship progress between Charlie and Charlie and Claire as well. Excited to see that one. The guy's obviously put his life on the line numerous times to help her and a baby as well, so that's going to be a good one. Jack's been obviously helping the full camp, putting his life on the line, consistently chasing after Ethan, not thinking twice about helping everybody. He was willing to give blood, help cut off Boone's leg. You know what I mean? He's always been there trying to help people, putting others first. And it's going to be interesting to see who we like and who we dislike this season, because obviously going off your guys' votes from last season, it's really surprising, and now obviously it's going to be subject to change because everybody gets a new storyline, new characters are hopefully introduced as well, and I can't wait for everything to develop. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys are excited. I'm really looking forward to this season. Thanks for checking out today's episode. If you do enjoy it, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into the first episode of the second season of Lost.
There's only one song worth singing. You gotta make your own kind of music, but you gotta...
What did he just inject himself with? Oh, do you reckon it's a guy in a bunker? Is that someone living down here? Yeah, it is. They've got a decent life down there. See, what an interesting start, down there. I was trying to figure out who's this, what's going on, but the person's down there seems to be well groomed, got a decent facility. It looked like there was a couple of beds in there, got up, typing stuff on the computer as well, got a blender, so they got powered, they had music and fruit and stuff like that. I don't really know what's going on, who they are, and why they're there on the island, like hidden away. They must have known people was trying to get into the bunker, unless it was literally soundproof, like they couldn't hear it at all. Pretty exciting, to be honest. And it's like, well, first of all, he's looked at that magnifying glass or whatever and could see that someone is looking in, but very interested.
8 were dead, 15 doomed and dead, 16
Are you okay?
Yeah, awesome. I just have to pee.
Blew the door so we could get everyone inside this thing so they'd be safe. That plan is not gonna work.
Water.
Shallow. Sounds like a puddle.
Like 40 feet down?
50 tops.
You're gonna lower 40 people down there one by one? They're waiting for us to come back and tell them what to do, so let's forget about the harnesses.
Jack?
I'm gonna go get the dynamite that we didn't use, and we're heading back to the caves. So how about you pack it up, John?
I say it all the time, but who put Jack in
Why
charge?
don't you want to go down there, Jack?
Female, late 20s, no ID. She coded twice on the way over here.
Where's the other one?
Right behind us.
Her cardio's pierced. Was she driving?
Yeah, alone.
Where's the driver of the SUV? Let's go. Where's that?
Right here. Got it?
Yep.
Dropping, come on. Doctor, we're losing him. Time of death, 8:15 a.m.
I want to dance at my wedding.
What is she saying?
The dance at a
She has to
wedding.
dance at her wedding.
No one is coming.
But the French woman said.
The French woman is missing a bloody wing nut, you know? I mean, it was all bollocks.
Why'd you light the fuse, man?
Why wouldn't I light the fuse?
Maybe because I was running towards you, waving my arms, yelling, "Don't do that."
Checking his scratches on the inside. Or quarantine.
Vincent!
This is not a good idea.
I saw him 5 minutes ago.
Vincent!
Bit weird, that dog, isn't it? It actually is a little bit weird. I feel like it's possessed half the time.
Sonny! Where are you?
You know what? I kind of like Shannon to be taken. Or she can hear the voices. Oh, shit.
Shannon!
Oh, I'd love to know if he actually was there. That was really interesting. I was saying at the start, you know, I was hoping that Shannon could have a big season, just the way everything kind of like panned out. And I feel like, you know, it's a chance to actually elevate her. Straight away, we started with her kind of seeing Walt and hearing the voices. Now, she'd be a good one because if Walt was there, I don't know if people would believe her, which then would make it interesting because, you know what I mean? She's saying that people never listen to her or never give her any responsibility. So, and, you know, it's a good person to actually choose and select to actually see him.
That thinks I'm crazy, doesn't he?
Why? Because you want to drop into a hatch that's been locked from the inside by a foot-thick steel door that says quarantine?
Go ahead, man. Don't unlock making time with your girl. Joke, dude.
Not really in the mood, Hurley.
Really? Wow. Usually you're like Mr. Ha-Ha. What?
The numbers are bad. That's what you were yelling right when I tackled you.
A while ago, I was in this kind of psych ward, and there's this guy, Leonard, and all the time I knew him, all he ever said were these numbers. Well, actually, a couple months after I got out, I was buying a frozen burrito, and I thought, hey, I should play the lottery. And I won $114 million. My house caught on fire. The chicken joint that I worked at got hit by a meteor. I see the same friggin' numbers on that hatch thing. And that's why I tried to stop it, because that thing is cursed.
You were in a psych ward?
I was literally going to say it.
You are.
It's that thing where doctors make you feel better just by talking to you.
Bedside manner.
Yeah, that. Yours sucks, dude.
What's happened to me?
You have a fracture dislocation of your thoracic lumbar spine. I'm going to perform surgery and repair as much damage as possible. But even the most optimistic results, the likelihood of retaining any feeling or mobility anywhere below the waist, extremely unlikely.
You might want to try handing out some hope every once in a while.
Her spine's crushed. That's false hope, Dad.
But it's still hope.
Okay, so I do feel like hope is needed, especially for these on the island as well, because if they don't have hope, then there's nothing for them to fight for, and they'll just be, you know, accepting that they're just going to stay and die here, which that's not what you want. You want everybody to be motivated to do whatever they can to get off. But again, obviously, in the procedures, you don't want to tell them that there's no chance you're ever going to walk again. You know, you've broken your back, you're screwed, you're going to have no feeling ever again. You don't want that. But I would also prefer a doctor to be true to me and pretty much tell me the harsh truth as well. I feel like in life, people can't handle the harsh truth and you need it. I would much rather know that there's a bigger chance of me never walking again than a chance, you know, like me believing that there was more chance of me walking and then I don't. That is the worst type of hope. He could go in, he could say, look, mate, you broke your back, you've done all of these things. It doesn't look good, but we can do procedures and I'm going to do one on you. I've done it before successfully and there's been many patients that have actually been in your condition that have gone back into normal, you know, life, been able to walk again. But I just need to tell you that obviously the odds are not in their favour, but it doesn't mean that that's never going to happen. So I would keep, you know what I mean? I would keep hold of the hope that you're one of the lucky few and I'm going to do my best and I'm going to try and I'm going to give everything to make you walk again. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of give them reality that, you know, there's a chance that it's not going to happen, but you also tell them there's a chance it could, so don't lose all faith yet. Do you know what I mean? We need to see how it goes.
What whispers?
I don't know them. Do you think something happened to the raft?
Nothing happened to the raft. Walter's with your husband, with
Saeed, I know what I saw.
Locke found a hatch in the ground. Not gonna work. There's no way for all of us to get down in there tonight.
Where's Dr. Arts?
He didn't make it. Everything's gonna be okay. We're all gonna be safe as long as we stay together.
Yeah, you got to be a team in this situation, haven't you?
Up in 3 hours, and we're all gonna be here to see that happen. I promise.
See, never make promises because you don't know the true outcome that's going to happen.
It's for the hatch. I'm going in.
I really think that's the smartest thing to do right now, John.
The safest thing is to stay here. Wait for these others to see if they ever show up. But me, I'm tired of waiting.
Don't mind not doing this. I would have just wait for the sun to come up though. It's a bit dark now, isn't it? And like you can't really see what's going on and who's lurking.
So do you believe it? That everything's gonna be okay?
Yeah.
Kind of unlike you. the whole glass half full thing. I'm going to the hatch. I understand why you can't go. I mean, they need you here. I get it, I do. But Locke's going into that thing, whether you like it or not. And if he falls and breaks his neck, live together, die alone, right?
She's going for a dress fitting and to look at tablecloths.
When is it? The wedding?
It's 8 months.
Well, I'm sure Sarah will have recovered by then.
Recovered? What does that mean?
You need to know that there's a chance Sarah might very well need professional care for the rest of her life.
She won't be able to go to the bathroom by herself?
I mean, imagine being him, but also imagine being her. But we also know that this is a person that Jack married.
I know I'm not going to be dancing anymore. I can still roll around at my wedding. You're invited, okay?
That's pretty good, that, actually. I like how she's kind of facing reality.
I'm gonna fix you.
Gonna fix you. All I'm listening. Do you know what I mean? I said before, don't give promises, but he actually did fix her. Yo, I'm so excited for him to go down.
So you want me to go down first?
Hell, you're lighter.
Okay. What do I say if I need to stop?
Stop. Obviously.
You all right?
Hey, you're not far from it. The best bit would be if that light moves now, someone picks it up.
What is it?
John! I think there's something down.
I mean, he must know that she's still on the rope or not. He'd be able to feel it, surely. Oh no, she's being dragged. Oh, look at his hands. Good, mate. I'm happy, you know. I'm happy that Kate's been taken. Not because I want her to die. Like, I feel like it's just... It could be anyone. I'm just happy anybody's been taken. You know what I mean? I kind of said it before, mate. I thought Shannon might have been, and it would have been interesting to see how it goes. But, you know, Jack was doing his speech, and Charlie was like, there's no others. And it's like, mate, Charlie, you know there is. You was taken by one of them yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you should be the person that should be pushing that there are more people on the island, and they're dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that, you know, basically, he's putting it all in the fact that Russo told the story about the black smoke and he'd gone over and there was nobody there, just her. But then she was saying as well, look, mate, my Alex was taken and also wanted to do is a trade. I like, to me, there is others. And I've seen them, obviously, because Walt was taken, but I believed it anyway before that introduction actually happened. So, I mean, I don't know why they're so reluctant to acknowledge that there's more people on the island. The island's massive as well. You're not going to be able to explore all of it. And the fact is, yeah, I would class it with 3 types of people. You would have these plane crash survivors, you would have the others, and I believe that the person inside of the hatch is not even another. I believe that, well, I'm thinking that it's somebody else. It's like a third party, do you know what I mean? Another set of people.
You're going back? What about all that stuff you said about waiting till morning and watching the sunrise?
I changed my mind.
Yeah, Kate's there now.
Kate! Lock!
He smartly done it there, wraps his hands. You can kind of like abseil down, can't you? If you're strong enough to just keep the grip on the rope. Or I could slide down it. That must be well knackering.
Oh, damn it.
Don't fancy your chances of catching up with me tonight, though.
I wasn't trying to catch up.
Aye, of course you weren't.
What do you know about sprains, anyway?
I was almost a doctor once. So what's your excuse?
Excuse?
For running like the devil's chasing you. A girl, right?
Her name's Sarah.
You must have done something worthy of this self-flagellation.
I made a promise I couldn't keep. I told her I'd fix her and failed.
What if you did fix her?
I didn't.
Well, what if you did?
Because with her situation, that would be a miracle.
And you don't believe in miracles. You know, I'm going to give you some advice anyway. You have to lift it up. Your ankle. I'm Desmond. Well, good luck, brother.
But he said that he'd done a procedure and it didn't work, so he must have gone back and helped to carry on walking. Yes, he's down there. I mean, this area is not in good condition, really, is it? Wherever these people are, whoever it is down there. See, that looks like they've been there for a long time, but that one that he just looked at a minute ago looked like it was kind of fresh. That was what was affecting the compass, innit? That's how you just saying. Wonder what you have to type in, or do you have to press something every day?
Do that.
What the hell?
Ah, we not got a face reveal again, man. But I wonder if it's one of those things where, like, somebody is somewhere in a location and all they've got to do is every day is just type in, I'm here, or do you know what I mean, day 10, day 11, day 12, do you know what I mean, a part of the project? Because, I mean, that looks like it's been there for a time. Like, you seen the paint, and there was some that looked really fresh, to be honest. You know, it was clean, didn't look like they had any dust on it, no cobwebs, nothing. And then you turn to the other side of the room, and then it was just buckets of full-on old school, mate. You know what I mean? They look like they've not been touched for years. Also, you know, where is Kate? Because Locke's down there, he's got a gun pulled to him. We don't know who it is. It's a male, obviously, from the start of the episode. But I do think it's interesting that, obviously, Jack's managed to sneak down and have a good kind of look at the facility before he's even been approached. Now, the interesting thing is, it looks like there's only one of them in this place so far. And it's also a big magnetic pulse that's going on, which does correlate to what Saeed was saying when the compasses that was off. He said north would be here, but it's kind of like over there. And he mentioned something about magnetic things. And then I think at the time I was like, yo, that reminds me of Stranger Things as well, because they said the same thing.
Am I alive?
Yeah, you're alive.
You really smell.
I went for a run.
You smell like you ran far.
I wanted to get back down here and check on you. It was a tour de stade. It was when you run all the steps in every section of a stadium.
Did you finish?
No, I hurt my ankle. The damage to your back was extensive. I did everything that I could, but your spinal column, I just couldn't repair it. You're gonna be paralyzed from the waist down for the rest of your life. I'm so sorry, Sarah.
You're yanking my chain, right? And how come I can wiggle my toes?
Can you feel this?
Yes.
Yes.
So she would be like that, wouldn't you? I reckon if I was a doctor, mate, I'd be crying, like, I seen somebody like that.
Put the gun down.
Oh, it sounds like Desmond. What's going on, mate?
Yeah, it's okay.
I said drop it.
Where's Kate?
She's fine. Just put down.
I'm not putting down anything. All roads lead here.
Jack, calm down.
Lower your gun, or I'll blow his damned head off, brother!
You.
Oh, that's the end of the episode? Why have you got to tease us like that, mate? Like, literally, what are the odds that Jack could be running up and down wherever it is? They're from LA, aren't they? But they're in Australia. I always think they're Australian, but no, he's in LA. And then this dude that he encounters at a stadium, he's here now on the island sending codes and information out. What is the odds on that? That is crazy. Now, the interesting thing, what has happened to Kate? Literally, what has happened to Kate? We've seen her abseiling down that, obviously, that tunnel, or whatever you want to call it, the hatch hole and that. And then she was yanked down. Locke's obviously hands was all ripped and burnt and bleeding, wasn't there? And then he's obviously gone down himself and been captured. Now, again, it's exciting, to be honest, because to me, the more new people that you introduce into the cast, the merrier. You know what I'm saying? Like, even utilising some of the old people that was in last season. Just like the woman who said that she lost her husband and he's somewhere else on the island. She believes she doesn't think he's dead. You know, the one I feel like she's like a mum at the camp. Now, from reading the comments from you guys, thank you. They were saying that, you know, the reason why she wasn't in it much in the season 1 is because in real life, her husband was actually ill in real life and, you know, she was absent a bit. But who's to say that she doesn't come back in the show this season? You know what I mean? Characters that we established a little bit of relationships with that we kind of enjoy and we get more out of them. Because I, again, feel like there are characters here in the show. Like, personally, Claire, apart from the baby, she's not really done anything. Now, I'm not bashing her, but what I'm saying is big potential to give her a good storyline and move forward with. You know what I mean? I feel like we've kind of heavily had a lot. Would you say Sawyer, maybe? Kate and Jack, they're the full ones that we've like full on give. Then we've had some bit part ones that have been kind of in there, which would be like Charlie, Michael. I would say Hurley a little bit. I would say Jin and Sun, but they kind of come later on. Like, I would say like midway through the first season, after they kind of had the argument and the English was revealed, they started to dabble into it. But I feel like we can elevate so many more to become like way more time on screen. I'm excited for it. So we didn't see anything about Walt being taken. We just kind of seen a vision of Shannon seeing him in the trees. We didn't see anything about how Jin, Michael and Sawyer have been surviving in the sea. You know what I mean? That is another big one as well. Is that still the same night as what's happened there? So do you know what I'm saying? Like, they went out there, it was like blown up. And then that same timeline of that night was them on the island trying to get into the hatch. You know what I mean? So there's not been really any time difference between it. That's why we haven't seen much of it yet. Who knows, mate? But I feel like it's been a good start to the season because we've had a new character who I don't believe is an other. So then it's just got me intrigued straight away. Okay, that's going to wrap up the first episode of the second season of Lost. Hopefully you guys did enjoy today's episode. Very interesting stuff. Obviously, we busted open the hatch last season. Finally got somebody going down it today. And we've had a new character introduced to us called Desmond, who was actually shown in, you know, an encounter with Jack before he actually met his wife. Well, not met his wife, done a procedure. You know. Okay, and that's going to wrap up today's episode, the first episode of the second season of Lost. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. So very interesting stuff today. We've finally gone down the hatch. Yes, it was blown open last season, and we've seen actually what's inside there today. And we started off with a new character being introduced. Didn't see the face, but it's finally been revealed at the end of today's episode, which is somebody called Desmond, who Jack has actually encountered earlier on in his life, mate, which is very interesting. He said that he was almost a doctor himself, which is good, really, because I don't think he's part of the others that have taken Walt, which I think is interesting. And maybe he's somehow wound up on this island himself. I don't think he's part of Danielle's crew, if I'm being totally honest, but I feel like maybe it could be one of those things where he's just ended up on the island, which is well strange considering that he's met Jack before, but he's ended up there and he's created this facility or whatnot, and he's been trying to get off all of this time, maybe try and contact people, and it's not actually worked. But if he ends up being brought into the camp or into whatever you want to call it, because he's not actually a bad guy, then it's beneficial for them to have more than one doctor, somebody that can actually help, you know, other people as well. Because obviously when you look at it, Jack was so heavily focused on trying to help Boone that Kate had to deliver Claire's baby, isn't it? And if he was there, he could have actually helped, because he never said that he was a doctor, but he aspired to be one. And he would have, I've never aspired to be one, but I'm assuming somebody who did would have studied a bit and known quite a lot of things on how to do better than a random Joe Blogs like me. So it'd be good to see him introduced, but we haven't got any what's the word, like any information on what his intentions are and why he's there and how he survived for so long. And you know, why does the bunker or whatever you want to call it have quarantine on the inside of the door? Do you know what I mean? Like, what has actually happened for him to be there? And is he the only one, or is there more? And whose information is he sending away? You know what I'm saying? Like, loads of questions to be asked for him. Now, like I said, mate, we didn't see anything about Jin, Michael, or Sawyer, which I'm wanting to see next episode, because I believe that they're in the worst state that they're, you know, out of everybody. To be honest, they're in the middle of the sea with a blown up ship, and they're probably going to have to drift back to the shore on a bit of debris, you know what I mean? And maybe they're split as well, not knowing who's alive and who's dead, because it's so dark. It must be so scary. Walt as well, I want to know if the one that Shannon seen was actually Walt, or if it was the island showing her projections and visions, because like I said, nobody believed her, you know. But the thing is, if you was on the island, would you believe her? I don't think you would. And I'm being totally honest, me as well as a person, I don't think I would believe her. If I'd just seen him sail off, I wouldn't believe that she was saying, I've just seen Walt on the island all soaked. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't think that she was crazy. That's not what I'm saying. But I just wouldn't know if I would believe her, if I'm being totally honest. And that's kind of sad, isn't it? It actually is, but I'm just being honest. But the thing is, the camp, a lot of them are reluctant to acknowledge that there's others there. That's why I want them to come and infiltrate and fight or take somebody, because, you know, they're so long, like, they've been saying, no, it's just us, Danielle's there. They're believing that she's just a crazy one and hearing voices and just making up stories so that she could take Claire's baby. But in reality, now that we know that that's not true. So Ethan's been there. We've seen him, and obviously he's died, and maybe they thought that was the last of it, but it's not, mate. It's not, and it's going to be exciting, because obviously we still know that there's something going on in the island, something that tried to pull Locke in the hole last season, and we also know it was like a black mist that we see knocking around. So, I mean, there's still loads of stuff that could be happening. I want to know what Desmond's intentions are. Why is he there? And, you know, was it a coincidence that he engaged with Jack earlier on in their life, so to speak? And then again, it's very interesting as well that, you know, Sarah, Jack's wife, that we seen that they was married, but then when Jack was in the airport speaking to Michelle Rodriguez, don't even know what her name was in the show, he said that he wasn't. So well, what's happening with them? How have they got divorced? And then we seen the story of how she did get injured. She was in a car crash and Jack done the operation, and a boyfriend, obviously / fiance, no longer wanted to be in a relationship anymore, because basically he was told that there's a chance that she's going to be paralyzed from the waist down all her life, and he's kind of bounced, which is sad. But again, I like kind of how that was put in there, because I bet a lot of people have been in that position before where a loved one has left them and stuff like that. And sometimes, you know, you got to put some deep stuff in there because it actually hits home, and people have been in those situations, and sometimes the hard truth, you know, is hard to give out, but it needs to be seen. So very interesting stuff. They had a good counter. Jack's acting was really good. It was interesting to see him with longer hair. It was. I liked it. And, you know, it was a good introduction back into the season. I'm interested to see, obviously, what goes on and, you know, what we have in store for us. Thanks for checking out today's episode today. If you did enjoy it, please smash a like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.